Hi, today I saw a video of Rich and Famous, and Rich is a genderqueer person, also a bisexual, same like I am. And I think he is the reason on YouTube that yes, we indeed can have nice things. Um, that really inspired me to talk a bit about my own genderqueer experiences and my anxiety, because being a genderqueer person, I think, revolves around all those anxieties of heteronormative societies. And you come across so many people that know nothing about your experiences and about how you perceive yourself, that it becomes difficult, especially when you grow up. And me being really noisy about queerness, um, tolerance, LGBTQ communities, uh, that really brought about some great deal of internet hate. And I kind of get used to it because I saw it as something that happens only when a certain person reblogs a tweet of me or a blog post totally out of context. The people commenting on it know nothing about me, and they just throw all their fears and stereotypes in my face. And I kind of learned just not to feed the troll and let it roll by sometimes. Sometimes I call people by their names, right? So I call them out on their shit. But otherwise, I'm kind of laid back about it. But that's really difficult when you meet new people. And um, for all my friends, they really know that I am terrified by crowds, and I live in a big city. I am terrified with mass events, and I really need to drag along somebody who kind of gets me to go there and to meet new people, because once I start, it's not all that difficult. It's that the thought, the sheer thought that paralyzes me. Um, but my genderqueerness really benefited from knowing some people one-on-one and seeing how they are being queer. And that is really powerful for me sometimes. So I am kind of a person who lives inside of self-identified groups, but on the other hand, I was really lucky and blessed with people who kind of lived through their queerness, and I've learned from the best, I suppose. So, being a bisexual and a genderqueer at the same time, this is really difficult, and the the greatest person I can name was a guy who is gender studies student, and he actually is also a bisexual. That was one of his motivations to take up that major. And living for like a couple of days we've spent together, like from dusk till dawn, and I saw him swapping his gender identities at his whim, and I've kind of got to understand that while you cannot change your body and sex quickly, the whole gender issue around you, the gender identity, the gender that people ascribe to you, this you can like swap. And he could did that in mid-sentence. I was like really impressed by that. I really enjoyed spending time with him and seeing how he does that, because this is for me, because I'm also a polyglot, I couldn't really mix my polyglotry, me being a polyglot, with my gender identity. And I think this is like very similar. This polyglots have something which is called rapid language switching, and well, this is an issue we have. Sometimes we just mid-sentence switch to a language we feel like translates the best to what we have in our head. Sometimes this is, of course, troublesome when we speak with monolinguals and or people who don't know the language we are switching to. But yes, you can do that same with your gender. And I also have a good friend whom I call my brother. And my brother kind of taught me that you are responsible for your own looks as much as you really, really are. So I was a person that went to a hairdresser, a makeup artist, and whatnot, to like handle my face. I don't like my face particularly. I don't like my looks. And I was also always very surprised when somebody told me that they like how I look or I am beautiful. He was a person that never goes there, and as a gay guy, he handles his look himself. And when for the first time I experimented with A, shaving my face, and B, doing my own hairstyle, that was a really liberating experience for me, and I went through it this year. So that was really fun. And that kind of taught me that I am not only responsible for my whole experiences and my looks and how I am perceived. I'm only not responsible for how I am perceived. I can try, I can explain, I can be really nice about it, but in the end, it's like the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, the truth is in the eye of the observer, and I cannot influence it as much as I would like to. And besides, the story gets longer. The longer I live, the longer the story is, and it's very difficult to tell its entirety, like to everyone. I don't even know if I want to. It's not that I'm like openly queer. I'm not having issues with coming out to new people, but then explaining the whole story does a whole different problem, I suppose. And not everybody earns the privilege. So that's one thing. And I'm also the anxiety thing. As I told you, I'm always very surprised when somebody tells me that I'm pretty, that they like me, that they fell in love with me. I have been single for like almost 4 years now, and I remember one of my friends a couple of years ago telling me that he is bi-curious just because he met me and I'm bi, and I was like, no, you are not. No, that's really cute, but no, you are not. You don't want that. And even if I take pride in who I am, I know what a queer pride is, and I boldly bring it out in the world, then sometimes I think, like, you are a heteronormative, cisgendered person. You don't want none of this shit happening in your life. So sometimes it really upsets me when people tell that's our choice or that's fashion to be queer. Maybe we're more questioning about some standards or whatnot. But the anxiety really gets me still. So I'm like really thankful for the queer community for like embracing me as I am. And I thank you, Ritch, for making your wonderful videos, and see you again around.